This is the afternoon Weather Xtreme video for Thursday, the 23rd of August. What is this thing going to do called Isaac? A westward shift in modeling? What does it mean? What about the threat to our Gulf Coast? Does it all change? Well, let's get in there and talk about it. That's what we do. First off, very quickly, things are quiet and beautiful today. That's our Decatur sky cam overlooking the Tennessee River, Selma sky cam overlooking the Alabama River. And these are the folks that all of a sudden are saying, wait a minute now. Looked like we were okay about 24 hours ago, but all of a sudden some of the models are trying to suggest that our friends in the Gulf Coast there at Gulf Shores might have to watch things more carefully in coming days, and I think they will. There's the current upper air situation. Still got troughing here across the southeastern states, and it's awfully delightful. Look at those numbers. Again, today we're just having a hard time reaching 90. The guidance is way too warm. Every day the models suggest we'll hit 90, and every day we don't. We'll be close to it in coming days, but I don't think it'll be as warm as those low 90s we're seeing on the guidance. All right, this is rain coming from the HPC guys, and they're showing nothing statewide. I mean, nothing at Mobile or Gulf Shores through Tuesday morning of next week, but this all depends on Isaac. We know that. If Isaac takes the Florida Peninsula route west of Tampa, coming up towards Cedar Key, Appalachia Bay, yeah, we'll be on the dry side. But that was based this morning before the 12Z model set came out. And there's the deal. We've got two systems now. Joyce was upgraded this morning, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. We got the new wave off the coast of Africa and Isaac. And here's part of the deal. You know, it's been really hard trying to get this thing organized over the past 24 hours. We've had different circulation centers. It has been very ill-defined. But finally, we're starting to see evidence of a good central circulation well to the south of Puerto Rico, farther south than models have been using as an initialization point. And using that farther south initialization, of course, that means the farther west this thing could go. And I think that's the reason for the westward shift. And it is very important to note that the G4 Gulfstream data will be ingested this evening. Now, whether it makes the OZ model set, I don't know, but it will make the 12Z model set tomorrow morning. Future model runs will have much better data. Keep in mind, they don't launch weather balloons in the Caribbean out there in the middle of nowhere, but with this data, the modeling will be much, much better. So no need to panic over one big westward shift here. Now, let's take a look. These are the tropical models, and you can clearly see the shift. And many of this guidance is suggesting the Florida Panhandle could have a problem in about 5 days. The GFS ensembles have also shifted to the west, with many of the members coming in over the Florida Panhandle. We'll check the NAM. It's been a big outlier to the east and still is. And keep in mind, the NAM only goes out to 84 hours. This is actually valid here Sunday evening at 7 o'clock Central Time. It's got the thing near Miami. Let's look at the GFS. It brings it into Pensacola late Tuesday night of next week. This is after midnight Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. And, of course, everybody around here goes, whoa. Europeans just gone nuts. It's so far west. It's almost to, Lake Charles, Louisiana, next Thursday. And again, it has been a clear outlier to the left, like the NAM has been an outlier to the right. And the Canadian has adjusted a little bit to the west. It's got it coming in toward Cedar Key and Tallahassee. This is Monday night of next week. And again, that is in line with our original ideas, but even that is a little farther to the west. Analogs based on the 12Z data. Still got some that want to make it a Gulf or an East Coast storm, couple that bring it across the Gulf. But again, this thing has just not been organized. It's part of the problem. We're trying to peg this thing when it's just so disorganized. But I think in the next 24 hours, this thing will be much more clear. In terms of the intensity forecast, this is the guidance coming off the tropical models. And really, they're not very bullish on intensification. And needless to say, a lot of this will depend on the interaction, if any now, with Hispaniola. The farther south initialization means that it could avoid those big mountains and just go over Cuba. And that would open the door for a problem. This could really blow up in the Gulf if it does not go over Hispaniola and it stays west of the Florida Peninsula. And it could be a major hurricane. Let's look at the official track from the Hurricane Center. And they have not changed much. They've got it a little west of Tampa Bay, Tuesday morning of next week at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The cone of uncertainty extends up to Pensacola. But again, I stress, we're in a great period of uncertainty here, and within the next 24 hours, by this time tomorrow, we'll be much more confident. All right, there's TD10, or I say TD10 is Joyce now. That's the system behind Isaac. Notice it's higher in latitude. That'll be a recurving storm, maybe close to Bermuda, but not affecting the United States. Let's go through the operational GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You can see a weakness here across the southeastern states in the 588 ridge. That's the nice trough we've had for days, giving us the nice cool air. Should be a bright, sunny day. Maybe 90, upper 80s tomorrow. Again, the guidance is too warm. All right, Saturday, we might mention a slight chance of a shower, but I think most everybody stays dry. The GFS has Isaac over Cuba. Sunday, Isaac is on the north coast of Cuba. And again, interaction with the island is going to be important. If it stays over Cuba 24 hours, it'll be somewhat weaker, maybe not a lot. We're dry Sunday. We'll go to Monday. The GFS has Isaac just northwest of Key West. We're dry as a bone. If that's right, Monday, we'd be in the subsidence ring, the sinking air around the periphery of that thing. We'll go to Tuesday. 594 heat is over the Four Corners. Trough to the north, and that thing should be pulling north. And the GFS, again, has it just south of Destin. And on Wednesday, it's inland with the center near Dothan or Geneva in southeast Alabama. Remember, the wet side's going to be the east side, but obviously if that comes up into southeast Alabama, at least the southeastern half of Alabama should get a big soaking there. Thursday, it just kind of sits there. It's a week from today. And Friday, next Friday, it still just kind of sits there. So, again, there's a whole lot of uncertainty here. We're anxiously awaiting the Gulf Stream upper air data that will be ingested in these models soon to make them much better. And like I often talk about, you need to get these things off into the American upper air network in the winter for a good read and what's going to happen. And the same thing with the tropics. There's no balloon launches out there in the middle of the tropical oceans. We'll check the end of the forecast, September 8th. It's about what September looks like, kind of a moderate westerly flow and some type of tropical system passing east on a recurving track out there. But again, this is all out there in the land of voodoo. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. Notes on the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you can, watch ABC 3340 News and the live stream of the television side at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening and God bless.